Hi, I am Centimus Prime, and here I will be reviewing Buster Boar from the modelroid full Power Gridman model kit. So to start things off, we will be taking a look at Buster Boar, and I will say, it is a really nice little drill tank thing. It's a really neat little drill tank. As the color scheme kind of works, you do get like a black and gray with little bits of red and a big spot of yellow, big base of yellow in the middle. Not too bad. Here's how it looks from the bottom. And let's take a closer look at the drill piece, at the drill. Very nice. Do you see that these drills are nice and metallic? Very nice. You do get some neat little panel lines throughout these, as well as these painted areas. Like these are little like painted detailed areas. Very nice. Here's how it looks from the bottom. Pretty simple. Unfortunately, you don't get any wheels, so it does not roll. Rather, it sort of slides and do its own thing, sliding. But the details on these treads are pretty nice. You do get each individual little segment. Very nice. Looking over at the sides of these treads, you do get a good bit of little details, some little lines and details throughout. You do get some like armature, like some lift arm like armature things running up the sides. It's very nice. And let's focus on this part. This part is very nice. You do get a really nice cockpit piece. It's just like a translucent piece that goes over this part of this yellow part, but it does look really nice. Very cool. It does look really nice. Of course, you do get some more greebles and details around here. And you do get this little section right here with a little spot of red, which is a sticker. And I will tell you, this Buster Boar, this Buster Boar contains 59 stickers. That's a big number of stickers, and most of them are pretty tiny. Now back here we also get what appears to be a helmet just hanging out the back. You can remove it pretty simple, but it's meant to be there. We'll say 4 of these stickers are the gray ones here. You do get the tiny ones here and the long thin ones here. Here they are from the other side. And the rest of the helmet looks really nice too. The helmet looks really nice. It can fall off sometimes, but only if you're not careful like me. That stuff sort of happens with me, but no big deal. This red spot here is a sticker. These details here are stickers. Looking down here, you do get stuff in the way, but there are 2 stickers here and 2 stickers under here. And I will show off the rest later. Now, again, there's really not much to say. It's a nice little drill tank. It doesn't have wheels, but I guess it's not. But I guess if the thing that does have wheels doesn't have rolling wheels, then why would they put wheels on the thing with treads? Oh, and something else, the drills have articulation, so the drills can each rotate 360. Very nice. And if you pull them out just a little bit, you can adjust them on this ball joint. So you can pull them around if you want to. Very, very nice. Very neat. Now moving on to size comparisons. Let's start off with someone around the same size as him. Let's start off with Siege Brunt. Now Siege Brunt, he's about as wide as Buster. I guess without this piece, I guess he can be about as long as Brunt. But Brunt is definitely taller. I guess without this piece, he can be about as tall as Brunt there. But that's pretty much it for that. But the box art, and I do bring out comparisons for the box art, for the outlined versions of these characters on the box art. The Buster Boar one was not quite as wide, but was almost as wide as Perceptor, as Studio Series Perceptor in his telescope mode. You see, like, the treads on that one were pretty close. They were the one on the box. The Buster Boar on the box was like on the side of the box. It was about that long, and not counting the helmet piece, he was about this long, about as long as Perceptor here, and his treads on the box art were as long as his legs from here to here. So that's a little interesting, I think. So you have that comparison. Oh, and the drills on that one went out about as far as here for Perceptor. So there's that comparison. And of course we have Buster Boar compared to Gridman, Battle Tracto Max, and Samurai Caliber. That's how he looks with those guys. And now, with that out of the way, we can combine Buster with Gridman to make Buster Gridman. Now, before we can actually get into it, I'm actually going to prep Gridman for that. And to do that, we're actually going to first take off his fists and replace them with the same hands you would use to grab onto samurai caliber with the, remember the grabby ones with these tabs in the hands? And you put those ones on. And then take this red piece with the sticker off and replace it with this piece. This is the piece that's going to connect Buster onto Gridman. And you connect this little hole to this little peg. This little thing, like so. Then boom, you have that. Now with Gridman all prepped. And there actually was something I forgot. When combining Gridman, when putting his arms, Gridman's arms, onto Max's little cavity things, it is ideal to leave the fists on during that. That was just something I forgot to mention in that previous one. But anyways. And I don't think I told you the name of this combination. So this guy and Gridman was, the combination for that was called Max Gridman. And the combination for these two is Buster Gridman. But anyways, let's get into transforming it so we can, to combining them. First, we're gonna take the helmet off, set that aside, untab these treads from the base, and then we can rotate them like this, and we can see a better look at these stickers that I most definitely have placed haphazardly. Yeah, the rest of the stickers here are fine, are alright, are placed okay. These ones down here, they're placed horribly. And that's on my part. And that was my fault. Okay, make sure they have these guys. Make sure we extend these just a little bit. So rotate those out. Rotate them like this. Flip this up like so. Split these two apart. Rotate them on the ball joint, because yes, these are ball joints. Boom. There's lots of these like little armature things. Okay, so rotate them back like this. Like that. Okay. Now we can combine in Gridman to this guy. And what's going to happen is that hole is going, this port is going to go into that hole, while this square fits onto this groove like so. Okay? Now with that done, we can now put on the helmet. And the thing about this helmet is it can it has this hinge here. So it has a hinge right here, so we could just fit it over. We can just fit it over Gridman's head and just fold it in. And now we have that. And the final step is to connect his hands onto these handles. I think. Or I guess not sure what do it wrong. We can push these in. Maybe that'll help? No? Okay. Oh, we could just tab them in like so and just connect them onto his like that. Hold on, I might have forgotten how to do this, which is highly unprofessional of me, by the way. Oh well, we could just detach these, rotate these back, and just connect them onto his hands, like so. And boom, I actually kind of like that. I'm actually going to do this with the other side. Swing these back, do that. And now we have Buster Gridman. Pretty simple. Does look kind of goofy though. So anyways, we have Buster Gridman. This is how he looks. It is kind of weird. Sure. He does maintain most of his does maintain a good bit of his articulation. His legs might be a little restricted due to the cockpit, and his head is overall not that hindered. And however, the helmet does feel a little wobbly. This is because when you hinge it down, it's not actually tabbed in. It's not actually, the helmet's not actually like tabbed in or anything. It's really just holding in there because you just hinged it down and you just fit it over his head, but it's not actually tapped in. So that's why it's a little bit wobbly. But anyways, it is nice to, and because and if you detach to these like I did, which I totally didn't do because I forgot how to adjust the armatures, you can also like articulate them in different ways. It's very nice. Very nice indeed. Not only that, but this dude is heavily armed because you can flip these red panels out and reveal a ton of little missiles, which each one of these yellow dots is a tiny little sticker. Yay me! Yay for me for putting on every single little sticker. And when you open these up, you would find that he has secret little cannons hidden within these drills. And I think the door fixed it. Yep. And all that blue you're seeing, all stickers. Yeah. This one was a very tedious. This Buster was very tedious in terms of stickers. Craziness. So each section has 3 blue stickers. All of this is 24 stickers. All of these ones combined up are 24 stickers. 48 stickers. And then we have the stickers, the sticker, and the 4 stickers on the helmet. And the gray stickers on the black chunks. You do get a little bit of articulation on these pieces, so that they can hinge like that, and they can hinge back. All right, and these are on a ball joint, so you can spin these, maneuver these around. Not only that, they're on hinges up here, so there's a hinge right there, a hinge right there, hinge right there, and hinge right there. But anyway, let's try to first of all put this piece back. Do get a bit of firepower and stuff. Looks very nice, and you do get these little like cone things. Obviously they do still spin around and articulate that way, but I'm just going to close these back up because this can be pretty messy to work with. Close those back up. There actually is something else I want to show you, like an additional like mode thing, but in order for me to do that, I'm gonna take these off and put them back. So put the hands back. I'm just going to leave these ones on. So for this transformation, we're going to, I guess you can call this like a, well, I guess you can call it me messing up horribly. Make him look up. You can then move these around. Attach these back on. Rotate these. Then just articulate a few things around. And then boom, we have this. It's certainly something. I believe he does. I believe he does this. I believe he does this in the intro. At least I think he did. But nonetheless, you do get a little bit of extra functionality out of this, and that's pretty nice. Still pretty cool. Kinda wish this had wheels. Kinda wish you had actual rolling wheels, but okay. I guess we could do like size comparisons. So here he is next to Max. Here he is next to Perceptor. And here he is next to Brunt. I'm moving these out of the way. And overall, I do think this is really nice. There's quite a bit of things you can do with this. You can articulate. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You can take those off of there and then connect onto his hands. Therefore, you have that. But I had to do it the hard way and take it off right here. But you could just pull this off of here and it'll be alright. I'll say options are good. And man, he has a really tight grip. His grip is really good. Again, overall, this is really nice. I do like it. This might be like one of the more undesired combinations for Gridman, but I do think the modelroid gave it justice, did this combination justice. It looks really good. There's a lot of play options. Looks really good, has a lot of play options. Very nice. Do get lots of articulation joints and transformation hinges. Very cool. Now, if I had to change anything about it, I guess wheels down here would have been nice, but that's not really needed. I'd say the treading details do make up I do feel the consistent tread details do make up for the lack of wheels. Because more likely this will be used for display, not play. But I'm using it for play. It's really fun. Really fun toy. Really fun. Oh, and I kind of do wish this would tab in it some way, so it wouldn't just wobble around. But oh well. The important thing is it holds. It not gonna fall out. I will say it can be tedious. It's probably going to be tedious with the stickers. It's going to be tedious with the stickers. But I feel like all the sticker work is worth it. And that'll be it. If you liked the video, consider to like and subscribe, and maybe even comment if you want. And of course, I will be posting again sooner or later.